has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, so we get into the coup de grace hour, the third hour of love on a Thirsty Thursday, and it's Drano time. Andrew Lano II, of course, joins us, the former caddy, to talk about the Open Championship. I have to ask you, it's good to see you, Drano. I want to start with this. Why, in God's name, is it taking 6 hours to play a round of golf when they're playing in threesomes? Now, I know they all go out on the first tee, and I don't care. If I'm in a golf cart and I'm behind an old lady and her husband, and it's longer than 4.5, 5 hours, I'm leaving. I can't take it on a golf course where I'm behind. Like, I'm that guy I'll start slamming clubs. Like, I'll be like, how the effing long are we going to sit here? And it affects your shots. It affects your head. Why were they playing 6-hour rounds of golf today, for God's sakes?
Hey, Scotty, great to be back on the show. Well, the simple answer is this. You can blame it all on technology. So you've got 2 par 5s that they can reach and a drivable par 4. So, I mean, honestly, you and I, we don't have to worry about driving greens and all that kind of stuff. These guys hit it so good and so far. I mean, they don't have a choice, really. So with the way the wind is blowing, et cetera, they have to wait. And that's causing the pileup on I-95.
Did you know that they play till 9:30 at night in Northern Ireland at Portrush? The sun was still up 10 minutes ago. You could still see outside at 10 to 10.
I got to tell you, it's awesome. I went on a golf trip over there, and we had like 4 o'clock tee time finished in plenty of time. I mean, it was amazing. Actually, it's kind of cool. You're looking at your watch, it's 9 o'clock, and you're on the 15th hole. I mean, I know you think it's kind of crazy for our time. It's nuts. But over there, this time of year, I mean, there's hardly any darkness, which means more light and more time on the golf course.
All right, so let's talk about this pack of wolves at the top of the leaderboard. Fitzpatrick, the Poseidon Adventure, Olesen, the Danish kid, and Ski and Pat Palaspuksa. That's my Danish. My mother was Danish from Copenhagen. I learned a little Danish. The kid Lee from China, Harry's English leather cologne, also there at 4 under.
I mean, it's the same old story every year in I call it the British Open, like you, the Open, whatever they want to call it. There's always going to be some surprises the first round. And you can go look back at the history. And lately, even though it's called the British Open, Americans have shined. So you've got Harry English up there, and you got some others lurking. I mean, it's an interesting deal every year. And again, like I've told you before, playing along the ground over there is a different deal than American golf. And it is playing fast and firm. They haven't had any rain. So it is really going to be fun each day. Even though they get the storm and the little flashes of rain and all that, places like concrete, the ball's rolling. It's going to be really interesting to see this thing play out.
Yeah, I saw the ball rolling pretty overall dry. They're hitting tee shots and they're rolling another 75 yards when they land. There's only 2 that are in the top 10 that are American, in English and in Scheffler. I said to Carver High earlier, how big of a lead will Scheffler have at this time tomorrow night? Because that guy, being as close as he is, 1 shot back, I'd be scared to death if I were the rest of them.
Yes, and I heard the announcer today say he hit like 4 fairways or something. So it's like they basically told you that he had an off day, and here he is, just kind of, as you would say, lingering or whatever. But he will go out late tomorrow, and Rory will bounce back and be out early in the morning. So the weather, I mean, you can only go with that, and it can come in and go out or whatever, but it's going to be an interesting, clash to see like who actually gets the advantage on the tee times, whether it's late early or early late.
So Hatton had one bogey the whole day. You saw what he did at Oakmont in the U.S. Open, and obviously Oakmont played harder than Portrush did today. You had all these guys. English got to 5 under. To me, they all were scoring today, and I don't want to see that. I want to see it come back to reality. When you were carrying the bag in the British Open was when you carried it. Now it's the Open. Whatever they, like you said, want to call it is fine with me. But it's my favorite major,
Right.
as you know, bar none, no questions asked. It's what golf is meant to be played like. It's the best golf. It's links golf. It's weather. It's conditions. It's wind. It's rain. It's
Yep.
elements. It's cold. It's crazy, the golf. When you carried the bag in these tournaments, did it mean more to you than stateside golf? Seriously, like what did it do to you?
I mean, as we know, it's where golf was invented. So it's really special to be over there and to be, in that arena, so to speak. I didn't go as many times as I wished because I had a lot of players that didn't really like it because they didn't understand the history and the legacy of golf. But it is very cool, and it's a different brand of caddying too, by the way. I mean, you still have to kind of do your deal, but you gotta really be calculative with like bounce and how far is it gonna go, and this stuff that you don't really have to do over here in the States. So it's special. The fans are special over there. I mean, they really know their golf. Not that they don't in the USA, but they're really onto it over there because it's like part of getting up and going and getting a coffee every day. I mean, golf, golf, golf. They love it. Scotland, England, Ireland. And the people are really nice in Ireland. Had a great experience there. I mean, I can just say that if Rory starts cranking it up or Lowry, this place is going to be upside down on Sunday.
So why are guys firing their caddies a lot lately, it seems? Like seriously, like, I've never seen that. I mean, I've seen it sporadically, but not regularly. We're seeing guys like Damon just fired a guy they got famous together on television, and that didn't take
Gino
long for them to
Vanelli.
get a divorce.
Yeah, my pal Gino. I mean, honestly, they probably pushed it over the limit. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in, that kitchen, but I know Gino, and I know it's been him and Joel go way back. They played golf with each other. They played against each other, and they're like brothers. But there just comes a time where you just need to separate and get something fresh. I mean, I'd be willing to wager if they threw it up on a board somewhere that, Gino will circle around and get back with Joel. But right now, he just needs to hear something, see something, and it's not Gino. Because like I've said, and I've told you this many times, watched the PGA Tour for 60 years, never seen a caddy hit a shot. But, you just need a fresh look sometimes. And, I heard Tom Kim, he removed his caddy, and I hear some, Morikawa has been jumping caddies looking for something. They're all searching because if they ain't posting a W, they're losing to Scotty Scheffler.
Hey, listen, enjoy the rest of the Open. Always good to see you, Drano, my man.
Thank you, Scotty.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
I mean, Houston beat the snot out of the Dodgers, 18-1. And this is what happens here. Oral Hershiser doing the game for the Dodgers brings up the cheating scandal, going, oh, they must know the science because they're hitting curveballs like they know it's coming. It's like, oh boy, did you really want to go down that rabbit hole again here? I think this is one of those nights where they got destroyed. Yeah, hey, it happens in baseball here. But just found that an interesting comment by Oral Hershiser. Start bringing up the cheating scandal again.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Dude, you have a head coach in Jim Harbaugh that's proven he will cheat to win. He will win at the biggest stage and doesn't give a damn who cares or finds out, and he'll just move on. That's what I love about a coach. That's the type of coach that I want. Win at all costs. Now, also, at all costs means, like, how are we building this team? Because I actually thought Harbaugh would come in and say, okay, let me just see what the players on the roster is. We'll weed them out after a year, but there's a lot of talent. He built that foundation last year and still made the playoffs.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Of an interesting couple of weeks in California. If you recall, just I think it was 2 weeks ago, language was inserted into a bill that would outlaw or ban sweepstakes casinos and sports betting, which of course we've seen lots of that happen this year. So California is an interesting market because, as you've said, there is no legal online casino. There is no legal online sports betting.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
I tell everybody every chance I get, you got to get the SportsGrid app. It's absolutely the best in the business. It's badass. It's free on iOS or Android. Get it. You won't regret it. It's phenomenal. You can watch the network, listen to the network, follow your favorite hosts, in-game odds, got it all, stories, videos, highlights, the SportsGrid app. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Did you know we're streaming on X, including right now, this very second, at SportsGrid-Live. You can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcast Monday to Friday on Apple, iTunes, or wherever you download podcasts. The lineup for tonight on SportsGrid TV, you got Front Office Sports today at 6 after this show, 6:30 Betting Above the Rim with Coach Young, and then at 7 Pro Football Talk, and then at 10 it's Sports Rage with Morency on SportsGrid Radio. At 8, it's The Institution, Carver and Lisi. All that tonight on SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio. We carry on a Thursday from New York. I'm Ferrall with Carver High. It's good to have you with us. And we're talking about the SEC still here on talk season.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple of more here, and then we will save the rest for tomorrow. We'll finish off this week of SEC Media Week in a big way with a few more coaches heading into the weekend. If you thought that Shane Beamer, thinking that South Carolina was a place that you could win national championships, perhaps I could up that a little bit for you by playing you Clark Leah, who's the head coach of Vanderbilt, trying to sell you that they're a playoff caliber team after one winning season last year.
We believe we have what it takes to plan to January. But we have to support our belief with a disciplined focus in the present. The burden of our goals is the pressure of knowing we can't afford to have an off night. We can't afford to have a lackluster effort or an unfocused snap. All this takes a mature team, and it takes a team devoted to winning.
Playing to January.
No one's afraid of them. They had a great season. Let's see them do it again.
Let's see them do it again. 7-6. Finally, Clark Leah gets a winning season at Vandy last year.
It's still not anything to be afraid of. 7-6.
It's nothing to be afraid of.
I mean, come on. Stop.
It was an improvement. I mean, when you go like 1-11, 2-10 to winning 6-7 games, that's a jump. But
there's no doubt.
Getting that next jump up to 9-10 is going to be extremely difficult for them. It's extremely difficult. Here's Brett Venables. Of course, he's now entering his fourth season on the job in Oklahoma and Norman, and now they're in the SEC.
Fire
which
him for Saban.
Well, he's another guy. I'd fire him for Saban. He's had several issues in his first few years in Norman. One of the glaring ones, especially to the fan base, Scotty, is that he continuously gets racked by Texas in their annual rivalry game. Of course, that's something that he's going to have to fix.
Well, I would say 2 of the 3 years we were, at some key positions. We're in a really tough spot. But I think 2 years ago was reflective of the type of game that it should be and will be moving forward. But we got to play better. We got to coach better. We got to play better. And that's a wonderful venue, as good as there is in all of college football. I've said it a lot. It's better than any national championship environment that I've been in. And I believe part of that is because of all the corporate that's at a national championship game. You're looking at 30+% maybe corporate that aren't really invested. And there's not a heartbeat in that stadium in the Cotton Bowl that's not heavily invested with a little bit of hate in their heart. So we'll get back on track. Look forward to that opportunity in October when it gets here.
Yeah, I just don't buy his act anymore. I think he's doomed in Norman. I really do. This is his last year there.
I wouldn't be surprised. And he's got a pretty tough draw, too. He's 6.5 is the win total for Oklahoma.
Can you imagine?
Plus 490 to make the playoff. I mean, you're right. I know what you're about to say. Can you imagine that, how far Oklahoma's fallen?
Yeah.
And that their win total's now 6.5 when they used to dominate that Big 12 every single year and win the conference just about every year.
I mean, Vanderbilt's better than them.
Can make that case. You could make that case. And they got a tough schedule. They play an out-of-conference game. They have Michigan coming to Norman on September the 6th. They play Auburn this year. They play Texas, obviously. They play South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. They have got, I don't see 7 wins in his card. That's another under for me. Under 6.5. Under Florida.
That'll be the end of it.
Probably will. More big dreams. Hugh Freeze in Auburn. He's been working a few years now to finally turn it around. Hasn't quite got there for him yet. Don't worry, though. This is the year.
We're embracing the highest of expectations. It's time for us to start climbing that mountain and winning some of those games. There's no reason with the chemistry among our staff, the additions we've added to the roster, the 2 top 10 recruiting classes. Would you love to have one more year? Sure, but there is zero reason that our team, Lord willing, we stay healthy. We're expected to compete in every single football game, and we had some difficult breaks last year go against us. So it's our turn this year for them to bounce our way.
Yeah, I just don't understand how he's the coach at Auburn. I really don't. I got to tell you, that's just not working for me either. They don't, and they literally haven't mattered in years. I mean, the last time they mattered, right, was Cam Newton.
Yep.
That's it. So they haven't been able to figure it out since. And I'm not sure that it's going to be figured out with him running things, to be honest with you. I mean, he looks like he doesn't even know why he's there. At that press conference, he's just talking about bad luck and stuff. What? Who does that?
And there's his 7.5 too. Me and Joe were actually going through this schedule with a fine-tooth comb last night on the radio show. There's no way they're winning 8 games. No shot. Auburn's winning 8 games this year. They have got another brutal SEC schedule. They got the Jackson Arnold kid who was at Oklahoma last year. He's their quarterback now. I don't care who their quarterback is, honestly.
Yeah, good luck.
think that there's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did that now, did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple stars starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
So we're going to start talking about the NBA now, and we've got Spew News to kick it off.
Yeah, and thankfully it actually ties in because it's NBA Spew News that you can just seamlessly go right into it. Of course, Damian Lillard was sent out the door by Milwaukee. They're going to be paying him a lot of money the next few years. He's not even going to play this upcoming season, but he's already got, Scotty, a new home. Damian Lillard returns to Portland.
What?
3 years, $42 million contract. Deal includes a player option for 27-28 and a no-trade clause. Lillard will now have a 2025-2026 salary of $70 million between his Portland and Milwaukee deals and a salary of $141 million over the next 2 years. Woo, he's not even going to play! And he's going to get $70 million.
You think he'll take pictures with fans at boxing events now that he's got all that money and he doesn't play?
No, he's not going to do that. No Dame time. Dame time, back in Portland. Loved it so much, had to go back. Should have never left Portland.
I'll say this much. He was never that guy in Milwaukee that he was in Portland. In Portland, he was 35 a night, and in Milwaukee, he basically didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Right?
Did nothing. 2 seasons, nothing. Nothing for Dame time. It was
his Achilles.
Bad
left
mix.
Portland.
Yeah.
How
Should
about
have never
this
left.
guy going back to that Alcatraz? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's where you're going to go? Weren't they? Everyone was recruiting him, right? Everybody wanted Dame time. Boston, Tatum was recruited. Remember that? They ran that story all week that he was going to go to the Celtics. There's another team I don't want to play for with those two ball hogs. I mean, honestly,
No.
Tatum and Brown, no one touches the ball but them, except Pritchard when he comes in and plays. He's the only other guy that touches the ball. So I think Dame time didn't like, this is my guess, that Giannis is 90% of their offense, which is the way it is, and he couldn't be who he is. Who he is he's a ball hog himself that shoots 35 times a night in Portland. And now he can go back where it all started and be that guy again. because he didn't have any of that luxury in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, but realistically, like, can he even do that anymore? Like, let's be fair. Like, he's 35 years old. He's going to be coming off a major injury. Like, they've got a lot of young players on that team that they've now been acquiring over the last couple of years. Like, I think his days of being
him.
Well, he's king. He's king over there. There's no question. He's king in Portland. So as long as he's there, that's true. But
he's gonna play with the big tariff.
The big tariff. We love this guy. All right, summer league action. Let's do some of last night's stuff fast. The Jazz beat the Wizards. Cody Williams, 23 points, 2 boards, 2 dimes for the Jazz. OKC beat the Pelicans 95-81. Sixers beat the Mavs 90-82. Janai Broom 22 and 14 for the Sixers. Your boy Broom getting involved. Nets beat the Magic 94-90. Danny Wolf 18-6 and 3. And even the Igor kid had 14 and 5, and he hit 3 threes in the final 2 minutes to win the game for the Nets. That Igor Demon was unbelievable, the BYU kid. At the Summer League last night. Bulls beat the Bucks 102-96. Jameer Young, 40 points. 40 points in a Summer League game? That's pretty good. T-Wolves beat the Suns 89-85. So that sets us up for this. OKC, the Kings, and Minnesota are all 4-0 in the race for the Summer League title. Remember, 4 teams make the semifinals to play for the championship. Charlotte, LA, Clippers, San Antonio, Toronto, and Atlanta are all 3-0 going into today. I know you mentioned, and we'll talk about in a second, that 2 of them are playing each other, San Antonio and Charlotte. So one of them's going to lose there. And we'll see who makes the semis for Saturday and then the championship for Sunday in the Summer League. That's who's still alive to win the title.
I mean, I guess it's as good as it can get. I don't think anyone really cares. And then Sunday it'll evaporate.
Yeah, it'll be over. And the hoops will be in the cupboard, I guess, until training camp, right? I'm sure there's some Euro tournament that everyone will try to get excited about. But that's really going to be it until October.
There's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. 4th easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those 3 things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple stars starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
just wanted to say, Carver High, as you know, a grave error on my part. I did not realize that it's me, Vinny B. Jr., running it for Luke today with Mafia. Vinny B. Jr. in the hizzy, doing a good job today, helping us out. I thought Luke was in when I started the show. It's not like I know anything to begin with ever. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, Vinny always doing a good job when he slides in and helps out. Nice job by him. I think Luke went like fishing or something. I don't know where Luke is. Who knows what he's got going on?
Fishing for what? Like
I don't know.
tarpon?
Fishing, camping. I don't know what he's doing. All right, Summer League. Pistons lead the Heat 69-52. Pacers lead the Knicks 59-46. People still do. Yes, they like the outdoors. Some people like the outdoors.
I don't like mosquitoes.
Right. I bet you that guy who was caught at the Coldplay concert last night wishes he was camping instead of being at that show. He probably wishes he was camping.
His wife just went on a camping trip.
Yeah, permanent camping trip for her. All right, let's go. Summer League tonight.
50% of his money, the CEO. He just lost a lot of money.
Let's go. Hawks and Grizzlies. Of course, the Hawks are one of these teams that can get to 4-0 tonight. They are 6.5-point favorites against the Grizz. That's at 6 o'clock East, so top of the hour coming up. The Spurs and the Hornets, both of these teams, the winner will be in the mix to make the semis, -2.5 for Charlotte. And then the Rockets, who haven't won a game, taking on the big tariff. Portland -4.5 here today.
Yeah, I like the Hawks and the Hornets and the Blazers. I like the big tariff tonight. And they're going to be excited because they got Dame Time back in the franchise. So I'm going to go Hawks, Hornets, Blazers. Although I do think that the Spurs are tough. So that 3.5 might be sketchy. But like any of these Summer League games you're betting on, I've been picking these games every day and doing a good job of hitting winners. But I'm not actually betting on any of these games with real money. I'm not. I can't do it. Like I'm watching the Knicks right now. They're so awful, this team they got out there. It's so bad, this team. They're getting whacked by Indy. I'm not betting like these first-year guys, second-year guys, the hacks that they throw into Vegas in these summer leagues. I mean, I don't know what's worse, betting on this or betting on Korean baseball on SportsGrid. I mean, honestly.
The night session, and of course, I guess ESPN thinks the Celtics and Lakers is even important in the Summer League because it has center stage, 9 o'clock East at the Thomas and Hack on big ESPN, too. Boston -3.5. Late night, Warriors and Raptors -8.5. They're in the mix at 3-0. And the Clippers are 3-0 as well. They're laying 9.5 against the Nuggets tonight. 9.5? It's a big number.
I'll take Boston, lay it, and I'll take both dogs. Give me the Dubs in 9. Give me the Nuggets in 9.5. I had 9 with the Nuggets the other night and cashed for you. So I'll take those again. Give me those big beefy stacks of 9 and 9.5 in the Dubs game and the Nuggets game.
There you go.
And I hit that Clippers game against the Lakers for you the other night.
You did. Speaking of the Clippers, of course, after all these moves, their projected lineup for this next year: Harden, Kawhi, John Collins, Zubac, and Bradley Beal. That is the starting 5, Scotty, allegedly, potentially, for the Clippers. Does that scare you, those 5 guys?
I mean, that to me looks like literally the morning clipboard for the nurse at the hospital. That when she comes into work and she's got to see who's in the beds, that right there to me looks like the only guy. Like, I won't deny Harden plays every night, but he's old now, and that to me just looks like a mash unit. I like Zubac on that team. And really, I'm a Kawhi fan, but he doesn't play either. So, I bet Harden starts missing games now too. And Beal, we already know what he does. I mean, you know what's funny about this guy? Somebody made a point about it the other day. he complained the entire time he was in Phoenix that he was this, guy, I guess there to support his teammates and I guess watch Booker and Durant go off, right? And now he's doing the same job again with another team with the Clippers. He complained the whole time he was in Phoenix about his role, and now he's got the same role with the Clippers. I mean, when is Harden going to pass him the ball, or Kawhi, or Zubats for that matter? I mean, he just doesn't matter anymore. What's crazy is he makes tons of money to not matter. That's crazy to me.
Yes, it is. Of course, after Beal was bought out by Phoenix, that left LeBron as the only player in the NBA left with a no-trade clause. That was until 20 minutes ago because Portland gave one to Damian Lillard. So now LeBron is once again not the only player in the NBA left with a no-trade clause. The Thunder, of course, have a great young roster. They just won the NBA championship, so why not? Let's give them a new building, $900 million in downtown OKC. There it is, Scotty. First look at what their new Shangri-La, they're downtown OKC.
It looks strikingly similar to the one they're playing in now. There you go. The outside's nicer.
The outside's it. Looks like the Nassau Coliseum when they redid it from far away. Hopefully it's
a little bit better than that. The old barn,
Well, when they put the lipstick on the pig at the old barn, and they put like a bunch of new lights out there, and they put some metal pieces along the side. They try to make you think it was all spruced up, but it was the same old dump inside. That won't be the case for OKC. They'll do just fine. We saw you had the Kobe Moonwalkers on the slate today. Are these coming out? These Kobe Moonwalkers, these purple shoes. Look at those. There they are.
Oh my God! I gotta get those and the Cookie Monsters. The blue Cookie Monsters and the purple Moonwalkers. Anything Kobe, I want my hands on. I gotta get my hands on these. And whenever I see kick-ass shoes, I gotta have them. It's just that simple. For my basketball, Jones. Those are just fantastic. Every Kobe that I ever played in, I loved. In fact, I have old Kobe's that I've worn out from playing in, and I still wear them. And they got like lumps in them and stuff from the treads are shot, and I still wear them. Kobe shoes are the best. Whatever his wife does, keep making Kobe shoes. They should make. You know how they made Jordans forever? He doesn't play anymore. They should make Kobe's forever. Kobe shoes are the best.
They should make Kobe's forever. Well, there you go. Kobe's and Cookie Monster shoes down the pike for you. I know. It's it's out now. What are those? Like a $500 pair of shoes or more? Those are like more than $500.
Well, I think those special edition like Cookie Monster and Moonwalkers are hard to get your hands on, and they're they're $400 or $500. But I bought Kobe's before, a lot of them, and they were normal. They were like $200.
That's not too bad, I guess. All right, we'll come back. Of course, I have the updated odds now that the first round of the Open Championship is in the books. We'll see who's at the top of the board. I've got a lot of NFL news for you today. In fact, most of it is honestly off the field, way off the field, like in courtrooms off the field. A lot of the NFL news.
Days.
Well, a few guys. Listen, we already did who's having a good day. I mean, TJ Watt's having a good day. He got $140 million, so he's having dinner's on TJ. He's doing just fine. But we have a bunch of guys who are having a bad day as well, or they're about to down the pike. So we'll do all that when we come back as well.
And I see in here you got some more quitters.
We do have quitters. Yeah, there was the Quitters Club added another member. Sure did.
There's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple starts starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so let's go back to Royal Portrush, and it's finally dark in Northern Ireland, and the first round of the Open is in the books.
It is in the books, and before I give you, of course, the updated odds and who's on the leaderboard, I wanted to play this for you for two reasons. Number one, you always love to hear guys complain about the weather at the Open Championship. It's it's a pastime of ours. We absolutely love it. But this is like a double whammy with Jason Day here. Not only is he complaining about the weather, and to be fair, he was probably out in whatever was the worst weather today in Royal Portrush. I would say it was during the time that Jason Day was out there. So here's Jason Day talking about the conditions. And Scotty, he had this sweater on today. I mean, it was just amazing. And you catch a little bit of that breeze as well with him on video. Here's Jason Day.
The weather here is the craziest weather pattern I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, there's no consistency to it whatsoever. You look at the weather. I mean, I'd love to be a weatherman here. You just get it wrong all the time. So, yeah, I mean, it's other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed playing golf. It was frustrating for me to be out there playing golf today, but I'm glad I played better on the backside.
If you're a weatherman around here, it must be a great job because you're always wrong, he says, if you're a weatherman there in Northern Ireland. He's probably right. You're never right about the weather.
How does this guy not know what he's walking into when he goes to the Open every year? Like, how does he not know what's about to hit you in the side of the face? I mean, it's automatic. It doesn't matter if it's in England or if it's in, Scotland or if it's in Ireland. It's always the same thing. Like, he acts like he's never been there before. This guy's been playing in the Open forever. I mean, he's been around.
Playing forever. Been around. Not doesn't seem to be involved. Amazing. Here's your leaderboard.
Go home.
Go. Round 2 will tee off around same thing tomorrow morning, or tonight I should say, 1:35 a.m. East is when they'll go off once again for the second round. We told you Olesen, Ha-Tong Lee, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Bezuidenhout, and Harry English.
That guy can putt.
All
The
at 4
Poseidon
under.
Adventure can definitely
Yes.
putt. That guy's got great putting touch.
But the funny part is you won't see a lot of those guys who are tied for the lead on the board I am about to show you, and that's the updated odds to win. That's because the book doesn't think that, aside from Matthew Fitzpatrick, any of those guys have a shot. Oh, Harry English they got up there at 20-1. Scheffler plus 210. I've got him at now. Rory, Fitzpatrick, Rahm, Hatton, English, Rose, and Bezuidenhout. So they did slide him in also at 33-1.
The Bezuidenhout adventure I'll take at that price, and I've already been on Hatton since the jump,
Yes.
so I'm not getting out of there. I know you're all over Rahm, but I saw that guy.
I got Rose,
Bezuidenhout
too.
Today. I like Rose. You know, I bet on Rose at the Open. So I like the guy with that great putting touch that I saw. Literally, he must have lipped out 6 or 7 putts today by like literally a millimeter. I mean, he was dead on the cup and couldn't get a break. If that guy starts sinking any of those putts, watch out. 33-1.
Yeah, you got to watch out for him. That's for sure. All right, let's do some NFL. I have a few things for you with that. Rashee Rice, we've been waiting to hear about what's going to happen. Remember that multi-car crash in Dallas a couple years back, March of 2024? Finally got some sentencing for Rice today. 30 days in jail. Now, he has 5 years to serve that, Scotty. So he gets 5 years probation. And I guess at any time in that 5 years, he's got to go in for 30 days. So he doesn't have to go, you got to play football this year. Well, he's going to get suspended. But you can finish the football season this year or next year, whenever. He's just got to serve the 30 days at some point down the line.
Do it when you're suspended. And you can't play,
Well,
so you might as well just go do the time.
I guess that's one way to look at it, because he is going to get suspended. Now, I was seeing all of the legal eagles and all the people who know the NFL bylaws and whatnot say he's going to get a minimum of 6 games for this infringement that he's got here. So expect to not see Rashee Rice for at least 6 games, maybe more, who knows. Expect a suspension for Jordan Addison as well. We told you earlier in the week that his trial was coming up this week. Well, he takes a plea deal for a lesser charge in his DUI case, but he will face an NFL suspension, Scotty. So Jordan Addison, bad day for wide receivers in court, I guess you could say.
Another guy drunk driving
guys.
that gets away with it because he's got money and a high-priced lawyer, and by the time he was done, he wasn't even driving the car. He got a plea deal and a much lesser charge, which means he didn't get nailed for drunk driving at all. He just got a deal to get out of it. That's exactly what happened. His lawyer got him a deal like he wasn't even driving the car drunk.
As you say, when you have enough money, you could get a good enough lawyer to get a deal like that. If you have enough money to do so.
I know a guy, and you know him too, that has gotten more NFL players out of DUIs than you can shake a stick at. I mean, this guy I have a guy that got a guy out. He had 5 DUIs, and when he was done, he never was driving a car once. The cop was driving the car drunk.
Yes, that's how it goes. Micah Parsons is upset that his contract still isn't done. He cited a lack of communication with Cowboy management, and the Cowboys have cost themselves money by waiting to do the extension, which, by the way, they cost themselves even more today because now he's going to want to get paid more than TJ Watt also.
Yeah.
So that's even more money. He's going to want to pass Watt in the next couple of weeks.
And let's face facts, he's, half his age, and he's faster and everything about it. Like, he's worth more money in today's market than TJ Watt is. That's just bottom line. Like, this is a market-driven league that does all the deals are similar. And they're one step above the next. That this guy's the highest paid today for about 5 minutes, and then he'll be passed. Every guy that gets a deal now is the highest paid at their position. And then tomorrow, they're not the highest paid.
New member of the Quitters Club, Mike Williams, of course, was going back to the Chargers this year. He was with the Jets and the Steelers last year, retiring after 8 NFL seasons. He's 30 years old. No more for Mike. Walking
He was
away.
soft anyway.
there's a possibility that we could be looking at the board wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple stars starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, everybody loves leftovers.
Everybody does love leftovers. Let's go. Let's do it. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is believed to have recovered from his recent right shoulder setbacks. It should be in plural because he's had several. Colts, of course, report to camp in a week or two, and allegedly he'll be ready to go. Good for him. Washington signs Von Miller to a one-year deal. Problem with that is, that guy runs with one leg now. He's got a blown tire all the time. He's slow. Doesn't have it anymore. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Chargers put Najee Harris on the active non-football injury list. He definitely has a non-football injury. There's no question about that after the 4th of July fireworks mishap. But they still say he's going to be okay to play football this year. Let's hope that's true. The 49ers signed second-round pick Alfred Collins to a 4-year, $10.3 million deal, $9 million guaranteed. Now, why is this significant? He's only the third out of the 32 second-round picks to sign their deal, as there's been this thing, Scotty, where the second-rounders and the agents have all been kind of banding together because they want to get more guaranteed money for second-round picks. So only 3 of the 32 second-round picks have signed, and the 3 that did got some decent guaranteed money.
Well, I just think that's ridiculous. I think at the very least, first and second rounders in the NFL should be getting guaranteed money without provocation. And I think frankly, I think first, second, and third should get it. And then I think 4 through 7 is sketchy for getting any of that. But I think the first 3 rounds should get it because for the most part, the first 3 rounds of picks make the team.
Another retirement that only lasted 2 or 3 weeks. John Jones is back already. Wants to fight in the UFC event that's going to be at the White House. Is that even definitely happening? Are they really going to do a UFC fight at the White House?
Of course they are, because White and Trump are lovers. They're going to have a UFC event there. They said White said it's going to be the Sphere on steroids. He knows all about that because everybody in that UFC is on juice. So he said the White House event's going to be on steroids, which I wouldn't put it past him. And then now Jones is finally going to fight Aspinall, who he said he would never fight. So much for all of his retirement.
Of course, Saturday night will be allegedly the last fight for Dustin Poirier. says he's retiring because he doesn't want to disrespect the game and he doesn't want the sport to retire him. Going out on his own terms, Scotty, we can respect that as long as he sticks to it and doesn't come back in 6 months or 2 weeks.
Let's see, he'll be jonesing in a year after he's hanging out with his wife and kids too much. He's going to want to fight again.
Our boy, Nick Kyrgios, back,
like
officially entered into the U.S. Open, of course, in Flushing Meadows. This would be his first appearance there since 2022. Always good for tennis when Nick Kyrgios is out there yelling at people.
Tantrums. He's really good at throwing fits.
Sunday's Wimbledon final between Sinner and Alcaraz averaged 2.9 million viewers, a 31% increase over last year, and the highest viewership since the last time Federer was in the Wimbledon final. So nice job by those guys.
The men's and women's winners are on the gas.
Correct. That's precisely what happened this year. Longtime poker pro Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. This guy's been at it a long time. This dude was playing big events when I was actually involved in this stuff. Wins the World Series of Poker main event and $10 million. Or as Joe said to me last night.
$30 million playing poker in Vegas. $30 million he's made.
Or as Joe said, he actually only gets 6.5. Uncle Sam's going to slice about 3.5 off of that 10. He's only going to get about 6. He's probably got all the numbers. Asia Wilson with 37 points, 10 boards in Vegas, his win over Dallas. And Ketel Marte, his home in Scottsdale, was burglarized while he was at the All-Star game. Numerous personal items taken. These guys are at it again. They're going after the athletes' houses.
If I were TJ Watt, I'd get a shotgun and some security guards real quick.
Yeah.
Perella finished. Perry Farrell countersues Dave Navarro. It never ends. Jane's Addiction still fighting. Remember when they got in a fight on the stage? Now Farrell is accusing Navarro and his bandmates of assault and battery and stealing money from Farrell. So Farrell and his wife sued the hell out of him. Jared Goff and his wife, Kristen Harper, announced the birth of their daughter, and they have arrested a guy for the double homicide of the American Idol producers that were shot with shotguns dead in Los Angeles. Front Office Sports today is next. Get my app, search Ferrall. You'll love it. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on Joseph.
And I showed you the Heisman odds a week or two ago, and they had Garrett Nussmeier as the second favorite behind Manning. So Brian Kelly's very excited to have Garrett back at school.
He is no athlete, in my opinion. You can quote me on that. Like, he is a clumsy white dude, and he sucked. Like, I'm being nice now. Now all of a sudden you're talking about him being great? Oh, slow down there, Coach.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Devin Booker, do you know, in those 2 years, actually makes more in his salary than the entire Miami Marlins payroll this year, which I think is at like $62 million. That's a 72.5. I'm just doing the math really quickly. So one guy's worth more than 25, but we know how bad the Miami Marlins is. But hey, I just talk hoops.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, yeah. Time for the sprint. Let's go streaking here. Don't I mean streaking through the quad. I mean streaking in Major League Baseball, which is what the Boston Red Sox actually are doing right now, Tom. 9-11, 9-12 on the rotation.
You have to put some stock into them, especially with their hitters. What the Red Sox are doing, they're scoring runs early. They're scoring runs late. Doesn't matter if it's a walk-off. They're putting up runs consistently, hits consistently.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Really would love to know what Jawan Jennings is after. If I were San Francisco, I'd hate to lose him. Not that I think he's ever going to be their best receiver on this football team, but you have a lot of question marks, right? We don't know how good Ricky Pearsall is yet.
We are asking, like, if Ayuk comes back and is healthy, if McCaffrey can be healthy, all these things. So why not just take the thing that you know works and just keep it?
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.